Hello everyone, this is Ross from RetroDreamBeam. I'm an eBay seller full-time. I've been doing this with my fiance Annetta for more than 3 years now. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. I'm about to go into the first day of 2026. So this is our sales. They're kind of like, okay, it makes sense. You know, people were probably busy yesterday. All right, first up is going to be a lot of 50 vintage black and white Legos. These right here, I got these from someone that was like going through their storage nearby. They had some Lego bits and pieces that they were going to throw out. I was like, can I pay you for them? They're like, you could just have them. So I listed them by like their color type, and then I put like the minifigs by their selves and stuff. I could tell that these were like from the 90s or something like that, just by some of the pieces that were there. So yeah, I color coded this by black, white, and gray right here. This one for $10.49 plus shipping. Everything's going to be plus shipping. All right, moving along, we have this board game. I think it was missing like one piece. Owari right here. This is going to be one of the bookshelf games. I don't think I've seen this particular one before, so it's cool because it also comes with like a bunch of marbles, and people just like to collect marbles in general, so maybe they're getting that for the marbles. But yeah, I love selling these book case games. They're not always like super expensive. Some of them can be okay, but yeah, $12.60 for this, even though it's missing like a piece. All right, next up is going to be Violence, the role-playing game book right here. Get a bunch of these interesting role-playing books. They're like side ones. They're not like Dungeons and Dragons, but people still like to read up the lore and to use these. So yeah, I think it might even have some cutouts here. I don't think I've sold this one before. It's my company. It says New Style. So yeah, this ended up going for $9.45. This is going international, so maybe they just didn't have access to it there. And I have the EIS program on. All right. Moving along, this is also another international sale. Getting pretty good luck with the international sales. I guess I kind of have been for the past few years. The only issue is sometimes people message me and say that I don't ship to their country, but I have everything on. I just have the international shipping on. I don't exclude anyone. So I'm not sure if there's like a keyword in the title where like it blocks something going from country to country. Maybe it's the word like, I don't know, war or battle or something. I never really know. And when you call eBay customer service, they just kind of go like, yeah, it looks like your listing's correct. So I'm not too sure why you can't also sell it or like why the customer can't purchase it, or maybe they have some details on their account wrong. You never know. So that's the only problem I have with the EIS program. All right, we have this Seventh Continent, the Flying Roots expansion right here. I remember, so Seventh Continent is this like, it's kind of a mystery game where a little bit of role playing and action in it, where most of the thing is cards, which make the board, which makes the continents, and then you can actually go to like the edges of the cards, and they tell you to like fold up some cards and you lay out some new ones, and you have the big box, which is really heavy. It's like 10 pounds of just cards, these like square cards that make up the whole continent. And then within the game, the purpose is to solve some mysteries. So you'll get this card, and it'll have a little bit of hints like, hey, maybe you should be looking for this or going there. Ned and I have the base game. We've never even solved a mystery before. We played it for like a good amount of time too, so we must have been like wandering too much on the continent. But that's like what the game is. You can kind of go and explore. There's a lot of like skill checks. You get to pick a character. You get to like equipment and stuff. There's a lot of expansions. We haven't played with any of the expansions, but I got an auction lot where it was the base game, 2 base games. There's like it's like an expansion base game. So sometimes there's board games where it'll be like it's a standalone base game, but also if you want to add it to another one, it can be expansion. So I had those 2 plus all these mini Seventh Continent smaller box. So I think I spent like 45 or 50 on like the auction, and then I knew I was going to get the money back from the base game, a little bit extra from the extra base game that didn't sell for as much, and then all these expansions I knew it was going to add up. So yeah, they were all complete. This is, I think, going to someone else that also ordered my other 2. I haven't looked yet, but there was someone that was international a couple of days ago that bought 2 of them, so I had to combine it and make a new listing, so they got cheaper shipping. This ended up going for $17.49. So yeah, I'm not too sure. It says to add some like little miniatures and stuff to your continent. It's a pretty cool game, cool concept. I'm not sure if they make more stuff now, or I haven't kept up with that board game company. Moving along, we have Glencoe models. This is going to be some model card kits right here. We have a Struts Bearcat, and then a T Sedan right there. Just really tiny model kit. It's like a cheaper one. When I like it, it's open still, but it has the pieces sealed, like little packets. I'm like, oh, they're just like really quick ones that you put together. But I know people like the model kits, so I like to pick these up if they're cheap enough. $8 for this one. So I like to get a little bit more for model kits, but if they're not worth as much, it's fine. Someone's going to appreciate it. All right, next up is Battletech Crossbow Clan Mech Miniature right here. We've got one of these. I kind of already have it wrapped up, But yeah, I don't get BattleTech stuff often. A lot of it can be pretty expensive. I think it's by FASA or Catalyst Games Labs, or maybe both or whatever. The interesting thing about this game, when I asked someone that played it, like I asked someone last year, they said that the rules are still the same since the beginning of the game. So a lot of people really get into it, and they like crafting their mechs. They like reading. There's like a ton of lore on it. I actually ended up finding like channels where there's just straight up channels that talk about all the BattleTech lore from the universe. So yeah, really cool thing for people to get into. They do like playing it. All you need is, you can use any miniature, I believe, and you just need a hex map that shows which way is like north and south, I believe. So as long as you have like cardinal directions, or you guys can agree on it, you can play BattleTech. You also get like sheets that you print out, I think, in your like, different parts can get damaged. So kind of reminded me of like Kingdom Death Monster, this other survival horror boutique game that I play, where you get survivors and you keep track of all their injuries and stuff. So, all right, but yeah, this ended up going for $5.99. Some of these figures, the BattleTech ones, can go for a lot more. I haven't gotten anything too crazy yet. All right, next up is going to be 10 Dice Masters. This is World's Finest, so like the Batman set right here. This is a collectible dice game. I don't think it's around anymore, but it was made by WizKids. You've seen me sell like the various different, there's Marvel, I got the Dungeons and Dragons, Fey Run ones. I haven't gotten the Yu-Gi-Oh ones yet. I don't know if those sell for more, probably because people like Yu-Gi-Oh more. I've sold like the individual cards. Sometimes I'll just find the cards and people buy the cards, but you get 2 dice, 2 cards in here. There's rarities, so they're collectible. It's not always the same thing. 10 packs. These end up going for $10. That's pretty much what those were retail when the game first came out, $1 a pack. I did not pay that. But yeah, this ended up going, sorry, to a repeat buyer as well. All right, next up is going to be a lot of 31 WizKids Marvel Hero Clicks. These are just uncommons right here, and there's only 29 cards, so there's 31 figures, 29 cards. You can look up the cards or the stats of some of the figures in HC Realms, which is like the website that they use for, all inclusive stuff about hero clicks. But yeah, they're just uncommons, so there's no like rares or anything, and there's also commons in here, I think. So on the base, there's gonna be a set symbol, and then it's gonna be surrounded by like a color. The white and green are the common and uncommons. But yeah, I think I'm going to be picking up more hero click stuff, because I noticed a bigger place that used to sell them online don't sell hero clicks anymore. So I kind of see like more of an opportunity. A lot of people kind of ignore the stuff in auctions. There was one time where I ignored it a little bit because Annette told me to be careful about the hero click stuff. But I was like, I don't know. Our numbers are like okay enough on them. And if other people are dropping out and I pick it up, I can sell more of the lower end stuff or the good stuff, if people pass up on the good stuff. I was going through like a little auction lot that I got a couple years ago, and I was listing it a couple days ago. I actually have like $100 like Phoenix figure, like an older one. So I was like, oh, that's awesome. All right, but yeah, $7.87. Obviously, I have like offers on it. I'll probably take lower than the 100, but there are some good figures out there. All right, next up is going to be these Polish magazines. There's like 2 of them. I forget exactly what year this says. It's from, I think, 1980. So there's big magazines. No idea what they're about. We like to get unique magazines and books whenever we find them. These are things we usually get like estate sales pretty cheap if you find someone that allows you to do like a pile or a deal, and then you add a bunch of like magazines and stuff. They usually don't care too much about it. $10 for these 2, so only $5 a piece, but that's a fun category that we like to sell in. All right, move along. We have 4 Ultra Pro. These are going to be 60 count deck boxes, or 80 counts. It's essentially for not commander. So you can fit like a deck, 60 cards, and then 15 cards for sideboard. You have a little bit of space or tokens. And I like to add these up. These are relatively cheap usually. I like to add up like them as a kind of like a little color palette here. So we have the clear one and like the browns and stuff like that. And then, yeah, darker color palettes. But yeah, this ended up going for $11.19. It's about what I would expect, around like $10 for those. I get these alongside, collections and like bulk buys, and then, like a board game. Sometimes I open it up and the person had deck boxes holding all the cards. I'm like, oh, cool, that's a little extra sale I can get. And I keep a lot of the deck boxes for myself. It's pretty useful to store cards. All right, last up for the day, this is going to be Cherished Teddy. This is going to be Ryan, I'm Green with Envy for You. This is a Leprechaun one. These ones I think originally did a little bit better. This was listed when I was still at my parents' place. I was listing in our garage, or their garage, in like the basement. So crazy flashback. Stuff still sells to this day, even the original stuff I listed. I don't care how long it takes. Someone's going to appreciate it. But yeah, this ended up going for $5.77 to a repeat buyer. So it's awesome. I'm making a repeat buyer happy, and I get to sell something I listed a long time ago, make a little bit of space. That's the only problem about having a lot of stuff listed, is just a space. That's about it, but it's not a big deal. All right, that's everything. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel Hope everyone had a good start to the new year. It's just been one day, but there you go, some decent sales.